About 4 months ago, I reviewed the downloadable prologue, Dead Rising Case Zero, in which I rambled on about how amazing I thought the game was and had several theories that I thought would come to pass in the full-blown sequel. Well, time has passed and I've now played that sequel, and I thought we'd take a look at if I was absolutely wrong or merely just mostly incorrect. Today we look at Dead Rising 2.
We are the Prodigy.
As stated in Case Zero, our main character is Chuck Greene, extreme zombie sports celebrity and single father. He is framed for releasing a swarm of zombies and causing a huge outbreak in the new Las Vegas. He now has 72 hours to protect his daughter, save any survivors he can find, and find evidence that clears his name. So the game drops us in Fortune City, hub of glitz and gambling, and by city they mean 2 shopping malls and 5 little casinos. That's right. The new, improved, leave the old game in the dust version also takes place at the exact same location as the original. I mock, but when I first realized that I'd be spending most of the game in a shopping mall, I was incredibly relieved. The big difference between this and the original is the system to gain bonus experience points. Like in Case Zero, Chuck gains more experience points by using combination weapons, as opposed to snapping photos like Frank West. So throughout the game you discover better and more outlandish weapon combos to use. So what's the downside of this system? Well, the 2-in-1 weapons brings the whole you can use anything you can get your hands on as a weapon to a crawl. In the first game you'd be knee-deep in zombies and anything you could get your hands on you'd use to bash the undead with. In this, you start to become dependent on certain combos, and instead of seeing anything as a weapon, you're spending half the time keeping weapons in your inventory until you find the other half of the combo. Another difference between 1 and 2 is the difficulty of the story. In the original, it seemed like everything was working against you and it was nearly impossible to overcome. In this one, Chuck pretty much beats the ass of anybody who gets in his way. It's the side quest psychos that you begin to worry about. These sons of are ridiculous. Some of the hardest fights in the game are just the psychopaths you choose to fight. It's like the 3 final weapons from Final Fantasy VII, except that they won't stop moving and they won't shut the hell up.
I knew I wouldn't die, Virgin. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Also, side note, Chuck Greene is both the best and the worst father in video game history. You can bring your daughter lots of adorable little gifties to make her smile, and you're risking your life just to keep her medicated and alive. However, on the other hand, you're surrounding her with hookers, drug addicts, strippers, and various crazies with all the survivors that you drag in. The story of the game is interesting and twisting with a variety of characters and situations. And seeing as it's from Capcom, there's plenty of stereotypical redneck Americans, and the story ultimately results in a giant America is evil flavor. It's kind of satirical, but mostly dickish. So what are the big changes and what stays the same in Dead Rising 2? Well, you're still running around in a mall. There's still the 72 hours plus overtime mode. You still have the ability to dress your very manly hero in women's clothes. The level up system is capped at 50. The boss fights are just psychopaths. The zombies in the game are merely an obstacle to get over. And you can only respawn at save points. As for the differences, you've got a new main character, obviously, no disembowel attack, better survivor AI, more time between missions, the ability to skip through text, combo weapons instead of photography, and you've swapped Ving Rhames for Liam Neeson. The game is fantastic and different enough from the original to keep it feeling fresh. And there's also a good amount of replay value in it because you want to level yourself up, not only to get the achievements, but to go back and beat the ever-living out of the side quest psychos. I'm looking at you, Slappy. Oh, and did I mention that you can train a tiger? A wild animal? I think the only reason why you couldn't do that in the first game was because Frank West really doesn't seem to have the skills to undertake such a task.
Sit, Simba. Sit. Whoa! Hey, I covered wars, you know. Fantastic.
Well, thank you for watching.